Alright, we're going to talk about making the schedule. When it comes to making the schedule, the first thing you need to start with is the manager schedule. Depending on the way you guys are set up, the way we were set up is you have to do the manager schedule about a month out. And that means, working on it about 5 weeks out. And the way you want to do this is set up number one, a system for requests off. Like, for example, requests off must be in 2 weeks before you start working on the schedule, so that's 7 weeks out. Requests off must be emailed. Requests off, so that way there's a paper trail, And with this, you're going to find that there's a little bit of consistency there. Like I've talked about a lot, consistency means a lot. When people know how they can request off, when it's due, there's no talking about it, there's no wasting time about it, they know, blah, done. So anyways, you get all so what I would do is get out your, I do it on the computer, you should probably do it on the computer too, it's more efficient. So get your program out. I think we used Excel or something, and it was a template that was set out for us with the dates of the week. You're gonna get a couple things. You're gonna need to get your company's calendar. So for us, we have like a period calendar for every week, and it tells for every month, and it tells you what things are going on, like a training day or a meeting and blah blah blah. Get that out. Get your requests out. Like, so I would pull those up and just kind of write those down somewhere, or plug them in to the it'd be best to plug them into the calendar and get those knocked in. So plug in all the information from the company schedule, plug in all the requests off, and then at that point you can kind of work your schedule. So remember, and I don't know if I've talked about this yet, but you're as the head GM, if you're the head GM, you're the head general manager, your happiness, your energy levels, your desire to be at work is crucial. And I can't say this enough, because you are the energy that flows through the entire cafe. You need to be well rested. You need to have your time off. You need to have your space. And that will help you, at least for me, come back well, refreshed, ready to go for the next day, right? So when it comes to making your schedule, you come first, right? You get those requests out of the way, you get your company stuff out of the way, and you become next. So decide what schedule you want to work. Should you switch it up? Yes. I'm a big fan of routine, but you do got to keep things fresh. So find a base routine and then mix it up at least once or twice throughout the month, so that you can see other periods of time, so that you can meet other workers and you can get a different sense of it. So what I would do typically is I would want to close Thursday nights, and I would want to open. Well, ours was a little confusing because I had this guy who only open from 5 to 7, and I would come in at 7. But long story short, make a schedule that works for you. And I would recommend doing a little bit of each day part. So that's why I said I close on Thursdays, because for me, Thursdays is not like a date night, or it wasn't a date night at that time, and it wasn't like I had a lot going on. So Thursdays would be a good night for me to close. And if anything, if my second option would be Saturday night closes, believe it or not, just because so that I can have the whole day to enjoy time with my husband and my family, and then I would just go close at night, and I wouldn't even schedule myself until like 5 or 6, really late. So anyways, make your schedule what you want it to be, right? And start from there. Then you can work off of that and do skills. So once you get your schedule in, what you're going to want to find is, you got to take into account availabilities. Hopefully you have those in front of you, their availabilities, or you memorize them by now, because a lot of us do. So get your managers' availabilities and plug them in based on their skill set. For example, some people are just really good closers. For me, a closer needs to be able to handle the dinner rush on their own, because typically, the mid manager is out by 5 or 6, which is a horrible time, unless you have a late mid and they're there from 11 to 7 or 10 to 8:30 or what have you. 12 to 8:30 or what have you. But in reality, push comes to shove, they should be able to handle dinner on their own. They should also be the kind of person that's really involved with the people and really good with people, because at closes and opens, you lose the most people. The mids are hard to find because like people do things during the day like school and stuff like that. So, but closes and opens, you gotta have those people in there. I mean, you gotta have mids too, but usually there's enough managers to make the mids happen. And mids is so like you need people in the lunch, but there's some play in and around. But for closes and open, you need people for that whole like 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. segment, and you need people from that whole 5 p.m. and 10 to 10 p.m. segment. Like at least for us, it's like you gotta have people to close. There's a whole station that needs to be broken down. Anyways, I mean, all of your managers should be good people, to be honest. But I would put someone down in closes who does well on their own. You know, they don't need to be babysat by me or the GM. So anyways, and then you know your skills, right? For my openers, I need to have someone who's on top of it. There's a lot of things to get done in the morning to have a good morning. And if I'm coming in at 7 a.m. and all this stuff is not done, you're not going to do opens for me anymore. You know what I mean? I'll retrain and work with them, but I'm saying if you can't make it happen and we work on it, we try to get there and you still can't get it, it's not going to work for me, you know, for opening. Mids typically run lunch for us, and so mids have to be a strong person as well. But I'm typically here during the day. Most of the days I'll be that person running the floor. So when it comes down to it, you got to plan it out based on their skills. You got to plan it out based on what they're doing. Another thing you got to count into effect is when things are due. Basic weekly things that have due dates. For example, we order food twice a week, so those ordering, that takes them off the floor for about 1 to 2 hours. And so for that, they're going to need to be here for that, you know. Inventory counts Tuesday nights, they're going to need to be here for that, you know. Schedules takes up anywhere from 3 to 5 hours. Someone's going to need to be here for that, you know. So you got to look at it like a little bit of like Sudoku, like a puzzle. It's kind of complicated, but if you kind of cross-reference everything at one time and you hold everything in front of you, get all that data in there, you'll find the rhythm, you'll find it. And there's some tricks you're gonna have to learn based on different things. For example, it gets kind of complicated, but if one of your managers, you know, is not solid, you're trying to work them up to get better, right? They're on an improvement track, and you want to get them to be able to switch you for you want them to be able to take over for you, right? They're gonna have to learn shadow you. We'll have them come in, you know, move their schedule up a little bit, move their schedule down a little bit to overlap with you, and you guys can do some training then. So those are just little tidbits, is moving things around, you know, and be able to do that. I'd say anytime you can stop by that cafe and kind of jump in and see how things are going is good. You always are going to keep your ears out, and your ears are your workers, right? Hear how things are going. Your managers may or may not tell you, but the reports will tell you, and your people will tell you. I know one of my managers would send friends by and just randomly check up on things, or, you know, past workers and stuff like that. So it's up to you how you want to make it happen, but you got to make it happen. You know what I mean? When it comes to putting together your associate schedule, we'll cover that in another video.